Hello and welcome to the Silver Screen Show, where we talk everything about movies and cinema. Tonight we have us joining our usual hosts, Abu and Alenya.
Hi.
Along with myself, Mo. So tonight we'll be discussing Pitch Perfect 3, Molly's Game, and The Greatest Showman. 3 films that have come out the last couple of weeks, and this is our first show for the year. So glad that you have joined us. So without any further ado, shall we start with Molly's Game?
Let's shall.
Yeah?
That's probably the biggest of any films to come out.
Do you want to start, Abu? So the film is, I'll just give a short overview. The film is about Molly, who is a real life, this is based on a real life
Yeah, it's based off
story.
her book, yes.
On her actual book, who is a high stakes poker player and a poker organizer. And she gets into trouble with the FBI, and the film is about what happens and how her lawyer gets her out of the
spoiler alert, but yeah. That's basically
well, you'd expect that.
Yeah, it's in the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is based upon Molly Bloom, played by Jessica Chastain, who ends up becoming one of the biggest hosts of poker tournaments in the world. So these are high profile, large stake games. You know, her clients involve movie stars, businessmen, professional athletes. It was just blew way out of what she was expecting. So she basically starts off as a law student, and she's like, you know what, I need to take some time off. And she ends up, getting into the world of poker and the underground gambling world through her boss. And before you know it, she's, just become massive. She's got her own thing going. And, she tries to keep it legal as she can. And before you know it, as you mentioned, the authorities do catch up on her, and it's down to her lawyer, played by Idris Elba, who, what's his actor's name?
Jeffrey,
yes.
Yeah.
So it's down to him to get her out of it, basically. And the story follows her relationship with her family and all the legal side of things, and how she became to be known as a poker princess, essentially. Yeah.
What did you think of it?
What did I think of it? So I think I've watched it, or have any of you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
You have not seen it, so you can fire the questions at me then.
Yeah. So what was good about it?
To be honest, overall, it's a great film. I loved it. It's people do compare it to The Wolf of Wall Street, but it's similar in a sense. He talks about how she went from the bottom, from nothing, from a few dollars to just running a massive underground organization. But I think the difference here is that whereas in Wolf of Wall Street, he clearly says what he's doing is illegal, and he revels in the fact it's against the law, and he wants Where here she tries to keep it as legit as he possibly can keep, a poker tournament.
Why is it underworld though? That's what I don't understand.
We can't really host these events out in the open because it's got famous names, high stakes.
Oh, this is not in Las Vegas. That's what I'm.
No. These are she holds these tournaments in hotel suites, right? And she gets players in. She keeps track of all the money, ins and out. She pays her taxes. She makes sure everything's done kosher. There's no dodgy underhanding going on here. So that's what basically it's about, and I think Jessica Chastain plays this role perfectly. She does a lot of monologuing, so she's an Olympic skier or potential Olympic skier, and her career kind of goes upside down in a sense, and she ends up doing this. And I think her and Idris Elba play off each other perfectly. I think that is what really carries this movie, because they're both smart intellectual characters, and what this movie thankfully doesn't do is force them into a romance. Which for a moment I thought they were gonna, for a moment I thought, are they gonna put them? Because it is based off a book, but they do have liberties to play with, because just to make it interesting as a film.
Yep.
So I kind of thought, don't put these two together because they're very
different.
No, not different, but they're very good, sharp, focused people. He's I've got a daughter. You see the daughter plentiful. But you know what Hollywood do? Two attractive people. Yeah, let's just make them get together. But luckily they don't do any of that stuff, and them two are basically the shining stars of the movie. And also, you don't really have to watch poker to enjoy it. I mean, it does explain it in a really nice way for people who aren't really, who really don't understand what poker is, all the hands, terms, full house.
It's
straight.
Without giving anything away, how close is this to Casino Royale's poker scenes?
It's nowhere near as epic. Casino Royale builds for that one poker scene. Again, this is a lot more Ocean's 11 kind of vibe to it. So stylish, quick hands, zooming into people's eyes, just making it look really slick. There's no tension really in it per se. You don't really feel.
Because it's not really about the poker.
Yeah, it's not really about the players involved, or it's more about her and how she's running everything, not the players involved and how they affect. And also, what makes this really interesting is it's also you got a famous actor who's actually involved in this in real life. But obviously, she can't name the actor, so they use Michael Cera instead as a proxy for the famous actor. So if you do the Googling, you'll know who that famous actor is.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy to find out who they're actually referring to. I was like, oh, really? He was actually involved in this.
Who was it?
I can't mention. I can't discuss him. I'm not sure. It's apparently some guy who played Spider-Man. I'll leave that to you.
Oh,
Rest
right.
to you. Yeah. So he was like involved. So instead of him, they use Michael Cera, just as another famous guy. So I was like, who's this famous person involved in this? I was like, find out. Wow,
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that actually gave a nice bit of interest to it as well, like another hook.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's like wow. So she was actually dealing with top level people.
Yeah.
So throughout the movie is really fun. Like you got the whole crime side of it, you got the poker side of things. I mean, the only bad thing I could say is the film does really drag on.
It's a long film, isn't it?
It's 2.5 hours. I'm like, oh.
Well,
wow.
without trailers at the beginning.
Without trailers, probably 3.5.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, what really slows it down is her interactions with her dad, played by Kevin Costner. I think he wanted a big part in this movie. Probably, I don't know.
Kevin Costner does dad so well, though.
Oh yeah,
he always does dad.
When he's at the top of a mountain as Clark Kent's dad, just doing stuff. Like, what are you doing at the top of the mountain? Yeah. So the film goes into her relationship with her father, which is like a key aspect of who she becomes and why she is what she is. But it's just like, I mean, she gets arrested about halfway through the movie. So the latter half is about her interactions with the law and court and prosecution, all that stuff. But her dad randomly shows up, and it's like a good 20 minutes of the movie where they just talk and it just grinds to a halt. It's like,
right.
I'm not really, feeling this vibe because it's pretty action-packed, pretty stylish, pretty cool, all slick, well done, snazzy. Then it just slows down to an absolute standstill when you got.
Does it pick up in the end?
The end. I think the ending really does. It doesn't really pick up because it's right near the end where this all happens. It kind of tapers off. So I think if they could have just done it a lot more compact way. I mean, we need the dad obviously because the dad is the reason why she becomes who she is, how she resents him, daddy issues basically. Yeah. But it's just the fact that they didn't have to give them such a long scene, like 20 minutes.
How would you rate the story itself?
The story itself is very captivating. I loved it. Like the fact she literally went from nothing, like an assistant for some random idiot, to running her own thing, and she's very smart. So that's another thing to remember. She's not like just a pretty face essentially in this. She's like, she knows what she's doing. Like the guys think, oh, just because she's a lady, we can manipulate her or get her to play for us or work for us. But nah, she's always like, I'm the person who runs this game. It's all down to me. You can't get involved with me. I'm not getting involved with you. It's all about me running this as a business. So as a person, she's actually quite likable. Like as a character, you kind of feel a bit of sympathy because she doesn't really try and she doesn't become evil in a way. She doesn't become and just
a businesswoman.
Exactly. She's like, this is my business. I'm gonna run it as it is. I'm not gonna let you guys ruin it for me. Yeah. Well, obviously the gang's gonna get involved. I mean, it's underground gambling. Dangerous people get involved. But when they're trying to get her out of it and stuff, you kind of think, I hope she does get out because she was doing some of the worst things people have done. It doesn't really she doesn't technically break any laws. It's only a tool.
Did you find any other aspects in the film that didn't quite work other than the
I just think it's the last thing. I think apart from everything else is great. Like the lead two are brilliant. Yeah. Like whenever they interact with each other in the offices, it's just snappy back and forth banter with them. And they both know who they are and where they stand.
They're both really good actors and actresses, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you think that there is any chances of Oscar nominations coming out of it?
I don't just think it's just the type of movie for. I mean, that is a big, role when it comes to Oscars. Because let's be honest, the Oscar movies are totally different to what they want.
Yeah. I was saying because I thought this was a more character-driven drama because Aaron Sorkin, this is his first film.
Yeah.
He normally does character drama, Social Network, and all the others. So I thought this may have that kind of element into it.
I think. For some aspect I could see it, but I just don't see it because it's just glorifying gambling, all that stuff, and they're the Oscar board aren't gonna run for that, But I think at least Idris Elba does deserve a supporting actor role. I think definitely.
You think so?
I think the lead actress role is a bit. I don't think it's enough just for that role. 'Cause that's a big prestigious award. I think you have to have a really massive role in order to get a nomination for lead actress. But I think for supporting actor, I think definitely could grab something. But yeah, I would say definitely check it out if you love, these crime thrillers, and gambling, all that stuff, the glitz and glamour of it.
If you had to put a genre to the film, what would you put it?
I'd probably put crime drama.
Crime drama.
Yeah, it's not really a thriller. It's more because it's based on real life stories. So not all of it's true. I did read about it. So some of it is a bit glossy.
Is it a bit too dramatized?
I wouldn't say it's too much, but some of it you can tell, did that really happen? And then read about that didn't happen. So it's just it's a bit too Hollywood for it to happen. But overall, I mean, it's a wonderful.
That sounds like a good film, yeah.
Yeah, I think the first 2 hours do enough for it to.
And then we leave after the first 2 hours.
I think there's enough to save like the kind of tame ending. I think like the first hours are good enough to just say, you know what, okay, it's the ending. Because she gets away with it anyway because she writes a book about it. So
Exactly, yeah.
exactly.
And
But
this
yeah,
is based on her book.
it definitely I think a great way to start the year. I think it came out New Year's Day. So yeah.
It did. Anyway, Molly's Game, crime drama. You should go check it out. It's out in the films now. We should move on to our next film,
Yes.
which
Have
is
like a short review of it.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
short review. Oh, my short
This is
review is a. What was my short review? Let me have a quick look. Pad this up, man. While I talk about something.
well, Molly's Game is a good film. So
yes, it's a winning hand.
I imagine a good
winning
one.
It's a
hand.
poker pun there, man. It's a
A
winning,
winning
hand.
hand.
Yes.
Right.
Good one.
That's why I wrote it down because it's so good, man. Like, I can't forget this line. It needs to be said.
You did forget though.
I did forget.
You did.
Yes.
So you preempted yourself.
I was
so
going to say
it's fine now.
good hand doesn't sound right. It's just like, but yeah.
Either way, on to our next film. It is The Greatest Showman. Alenya, you have watched it, and
Yes.
you
Yes.
definitely have positive things to say.
I definitely
as far as
have
I
positive
understand.
This is a 1 minute review.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
we have a
So-
short one. So
I'll time it.
you
Last
start-
time.
Yeah, because I did kind of talk about it in our end of year review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we
it
were
sounds
like-
like a work thing. But, yeah, so I'll just do.
Last time, Mr. Mo did let me, was a bit nice with the clock, and he did let me run over by like.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm like, no,
I
I'm
was
like,
a bit
no.
How long is this minute?
This is a long minute. It could be a long minute, but depending on you.
Nah, I'm playing by the game, man. I was even like, I even said to you, man, why did you not cut me off, man?
I think I'm a bit generous.
You gotta be ruthless.
I'm generous.
Ruthless.
It's
You're gonna be ruthless. I'm gonna be ruthless. I'm like, Alenya, once that minute hits.
I know you will. You're too nice.
Too nice. You're too nice for the show.
okay, we give out a warning just 10 seconds before it ends.
Yeah, just 10 seconds.
Okay.
That's fine.
So,
Start
Abdullah,
now.
when you're ready, I will start the clock. Say go.
Go.
This Greatest Showman, it's directed by Michael Gracie. It's a true story based on a person called P.T. Barnum. He's basically the man who created show business. And he creates this circus. And we follow Hugh Jackman, who is playing P.T. Barnum. You've also got Zac Efron, Zendaya, Michelle Williams, Rebecca Ferguson, and Keela Settle, all who put on amazing performances. The album for the soundtrack for this movie is currently at #1 in the album chart, and these are all original songs. It's an original musical. It's a really interesting story. The people in it are
seconds down.
fantastic. The songs are fantastic. I was humming and singing the songs as I was coming out of the cinema. And so P.T. Barnum, he comes from a very poor background, and he puts on this freak show and brings in like a fat man, a tall man, trapeze artists, a bearded woman, and they have he
10
has another
seconds.
singer who comes in as well, who's Rebecca Ferguson, and she kind of messes up his family life, and he goes back
5.
and he comes back even stronger, even better, even though they have all these protesters who burn down the circus, and he comes back really strong, and it's amazing.
I'll give it to you there. 1 minute, 3 seconds. I'll let you finish a sentence at least.
There you go.
That's
Cut halfway, yeah.
No, exactly.
But either way, it's a very, very good film. We should definitely watch. If you're a music fan, this is one film to watch.
Absolutely fantastic score, and my short review would be Greatest Original Show.
Greatest original show. Wow.
I think what I heard trivia for
Does
this is
justice.
apparently Hugh Jackman's doctor said, I don't recommend that you sing. For
Why
this
not?
film." I think he has some
He has
vocal
some
issues
throat
or some
issues.
yeah.
Right.
So, like, I wouldn't recommend that you sing live from the show because they always post record it and they.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm gonna sing, and he did like a boss.
Yeah,
So-
it's always nice seeing him in a musical as well, because he came like that was how he was found.
Yeah, that is his
That
roots,
was,
isn't
that's
it?
his
Yeah, yeah.
like that was his break into show business.
He
So
does
to
have a
see
very
him-
good voice as well,
He has
doesn't
an
he?
incredible voice.
Yeah.
He did Oklahoma live on stage, and
I
it
have
was.
not
I've seen the recording,
that.
and it's amazing. It's really
Oh.
good.
Good stuff. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Greatest Showman, also on the screens at the moment. Do check it out. We're on to our final film for the day. This is Pitch Perfect 3. One trilogy I have to say I haven't actually watched,
I don't think you ever intended to be honest.
but
I've
we do
seen
have a big
all of
fan in the...
All of them.
You have seen all of them. Well, the
Yes.
previous two.
Yes.
Well, this is Pitch Perfect 3, starring Anna Kendrick. That's a big break, I think.
I love that.
It has Ruby Rose, Haley Steinfeld. Both of them can sing. And obviously our favorite DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled.
Number one.
Well, the film reunites the cast back again for another show. And Alenya, why did you take it from there?
Yeah,
I have to
so-
say, I didn't know much about what the film goes on into.
They've kind of moved on with their lives a bit. So you've also got Elizabeth Banks, who was one of the main producers, and she was the kind of, it was her mind child sort of thing. And
So
you've
quick,
also got Rebel Wilson, who's really big at the moment, and everyone loves a bit of
so
Rebel.
quick question, because I've not watched this. I'll ask, be like a fan who've never seen it. How does this link to the previous two? So what happens in the previous? Do you have to watch the previous two?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't know anything about a cappella, it might be
Yeah.
nice to watch the first one. You don't have to watch the second one.
Okay.
It's not fantastic. The first one is really, really great. The songs are really great, and the mashups are just so smooth. And in this one, so they've all left college, and they think that they're going to this reunion for the Baden Bellas, which is the name of their a cappella team. Turns out they're not, and they're just supposed to be there to watch the current collegiate a cappella group. And they get really upset and depressed about it, and they're like, we just want to sing together again. And one of the girls, her dad is in the military, which is a thing that is constant throughout the whole film. So it doesn't just come up and say, oh, by the way, my dad's in the army. And she says, look, I'll get him to put us on the USO show, and we'll go on tour with that, and we'll have a great time.
Right.
And they do. They go away and they meet the other bands, and they realise actually...
Go on, please not.
Actually, in the real world, a cappella might not marry up and compete with actual bands with instruments. And
I do agree. Either way, can you tell me what the actual storyline is behind the entire trilogy?
Or is there like a...
is there a storyline?
It's the relationship between the girls, and I
love music.
They all love music.
They
love each other. They come together in the first film and get really close. They sort of find themselves a little bit, and like I remember, when I was in like choirs or performing arts groups at school and growing up, you do build that relationship with those people because you have so much fun together, and it's like one of the greatest things that you're doing for yourself. If you love performing, you love doing it with people that you like
who also
as well,
love performing.
who love performing, and you just build on each other. And I
suppose it's like a trilogy that it's not really about like a final villain or final conquest.
Lord of the Rings.
It's more just about a bunch of mates and just seeing their adventures and what they get up to over there.
Yeah, and it's like the in the first one they've all gone to college, so they're all kind of awkward, kind of weird. Some of them are a bit nerdy, and they come together and they realise that that doesn't really matter as long as they have each other. And it sounds lame, but it's really nice.
Typical American.
Yeah, exactly. And they go in and they try and do, in the first one, they try and do like the old school Bella thing where they do really like old female pop songs. And this new girl comes and she says, Anna Kendrick, and she says, guys, we need to be more upbeat. We need to try new things. Like
be more edgy.
Exactly. You need to be a bit more edgy.
This sounds very much like Glee.
Don't compare it to Glee.
Don't compare it to Glee.
No.
So I haven't seen either. So
exactly. Well, so don't. Just don't.
But all I know about Glee is they also sing, they love being around each other, diversity and all this kind of stuff.
In Glee's different because Glee is sort of a musical because they do sing about their feelings, whereas this is a film with music. They don't all of a sudden burst out.
All right, so that's
into
a good distinction because I thought this was a musical.
No, they don't just burst out into song because
like a Bollywood film,
like a Bollywood song, like a musical, like The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman. There's a bit where like one of them comes out and this is me, and they're singing about this is me.
Yeah.
Take it. But in Pitch Perfect, they're performing, and that's where the music comes in, and they're actually on stage performing songs.
Right. Okay. So what did you think were the good bits and the bad bits of the film?
The good bits of the comedy.
Oh, so this is a comedy.
It is hilarious.
It's a lot of like comedian type actors like Anna Kendrick, Rebel Wilson. They're known for.
Yeah, Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson have got a really, really good on-screen connection. They play like best friends. They become best friends after the first movie, and throughout the second movie as well. Anna Kendrick wants to leave and go and do her own thing, but then gets pulled back because she loves them and they're her family.
Wait, are you talking about real life here or the story?
No, in the story.
Got a bit confused.
Just because it's mentioned them like their name doesn't mean like...
Yeah. And then in this one, like every film, their connection to each other is kind of tested in some way. And
you kind of need that for like a dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. And then in this one also, you've got John Lithgow who comes in as Rebel's dad, who for some reason brings it. He's like a criminal, and he brings in a kind of action element to the film, which is really confusing.
Which was missing.
Which was missing from the first.
Catering to the other side.
You know what, this movie needs action.
You know what? Yeah, exactly.
Next one directed by Michael Bay with explosions as well.
I mean, this did have an explosion in it as well.
Did it?
But it's so ridiculous. It's in line with the rest of the film. And so you've got the back and forth between Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson. You've got Rebel Wilson by herself, who just comes out with the most weird, improvised one-liners throughout the movie. You've also got Brittany Snow, who is a little bit of a tragic character, but tragic in a funny way.
We'll laugh at her tragedies.
Yeah, exactly. You'll laugh at her. And, you know, there's all those sort of basic girl lines like, who even is she? Who is this girl? And me and my friends were just laughing.
American teenagers.
Me and my friend Zoe were like slapping each other laughing. We were like, oh my God, we were just rolling around in our chairs. Everyone in the film was laughing. There's
that's great.
Elizabeth Banks and I can't remember the actor's name. They're like the commentators of the a cappella world. And their interactions are fantastic as well. Like, so he comes out with the most sexist lines. He said something along the lines of, a girl another woman taking a job that would be better suited for a man. But it's funny because you know that it's
self-aware.
It's taking it in jest. And they are taking a dig at him for you know, Elizabeth Banks will turn around and be like, "You are a sexist pig," and it had everyone in the cinema.
Is this set in the modern world or in a?
It's set now.
Oh, it's set.
Yeah.
So what about anything that could be improved upon, or what you just said? I didn't like it.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes, I'll tell you, only gave 31%.
31.
Really?
Just 31.
What about audience scores? That's usually.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've learned to look at the audience scores now a bit more than just the critic scores.
The critic score
after Last Jedi. After The Last Jedi.
Well, The Last Jedi was also.
Greatest Showman was the same. The critic score for Greatest Showman is really low, but the audience score was like 90%.
This one is not very good at audience score either, 52%.
And then you're gonna make some fake accounts and get that score.
Yeah, I know. I think I do actually. But I don't know why. But I think it might be an acquired taste. If you don't like big musical numbers and stuff like that, if you don't like the whole like touchy feely, we're a family kind of thing, it's probably not for you. But I really enjoy the a cappella element to it. I love the music.
Opinions are subjective, man. You know.
And I think it's more of a girl movie than a guy.
But would you say this film was a bit of an irrelevant one? More so that it is an unnecessary one rather than irrelevant.
Yeah, no, it can definitely get lost in the background if you're not paying attention.
Now, I'm actually talking about that compared to the previous films. Did you really need a sequel?
No, I mean actually, yeah, because the second one wasn't that great, and this kind of went back to it gave it a definite storyline again, but didn't take itself very seriously. It's a comedy at the end of the day. It's a comedy with music, and like some comedies don't really get a great critic reaction. So,
well, this one made 3 times its budget, so there will be a 4th one if you're up for that.
I hope there isn't a sequel because it rounds off quite nicely at the end.
Okay,
but money.
But money.
It's like, why there's 6 Terminator films we don't know.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
They didn't advertise it massively either, which was so I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
it came out pretty on the low keys, considering like the amount of build up and hype.
Low key.
When he went to like Comic Con, there was like a whole area just for the movie, and I was putting a lot of effort into this. But like at the time of release, I didn't really see.
Yeah, actually, there was like a whole booth.
Exactly.
I got like a boomerang there, like me with the microphone and the guitar, like But no, I really enjoyed it, but I think it is a bit of a niche film.
I suppose something if you like the first 2, you'd definitely like this one. I suppose.
Yeah, I'd say if you wanted to have a look, watch the first one, because then also you've got like them and they've got their rivals who are all male a cappella group, and it's the whole like all female versus all male, and then there's a love interest as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a sexist film with only female cast and female a cappella group. Where's the men?
No, the men were in the previous one.
Oh, was it? Okay, that's why it was the down one. It did do as well.
No, the first one was really good when they have like the rivalry with the male.
They have that competition.
Yeah.
You need a strong rival to keep a movie.
Always do. Unless you're a Marvel film, then it doesn't matter.
It's one-liners.
So the first one's like the collegiate a cappella competitions. Then they go to the Worlds, and now they do a tour, and they take the mickey out of themselves. It's like, but we need a competition. We always have a competition, and then they find out that at the end of the tour, DJ Khaled will choose someone to be his support act. And they're like,
so this is
we
all
have a competition!
So this is all for DJ Khaled's backing dancers.
Not backing dancers, like support
Yeah, so
act.
I know what you mean.
Like
Yeah,
pre-act.
at the undercard. Yeah.
So it does kind of take the mick out of itself as well.
God, that
which is
does sound
really
like
It's
good.
a type of movie, you got to be a bit self-aware.
It's fun.
If you wanna put it, do a few words.
Hilarious musical fun. That's for me.
And you
I
didn't
loved
write that
it.
one down in advance, did you?
I didn't actually. That was the one thing I didn't
like
write down.
All right, good to know. That's it for us from this episode. It's the start of 2018. Hopefully there'll be more to come, and hopefully you'll join us for the next ones. Thank you.
Nice.
See ya. Bye.